Hello, today for our family health assessment with intervention and outcomes presentations, we are talking about a motor vehicle accident with the Jones family. In our group, we have Greg Asma, Becky Beeman, myself, Amara Christek, Kat McGregor, and Shane Rogers. Within the Jones family, we have Indy, the father. He is a 42-year-old full-time archaeologist who travels a lot for work. Indy is a loving and interested father. He wishes he could spend more time at home with his family and be more involved. He enjoys bringing souvenirs back for the family after every trip. Cecilia is a 40-year-old and full-time elementary school teacher. She is family-focused and appreciates tradition, including family travel and gatherings. Cecilia wishes her husband would not travel as much for work because she wishes he could spend more time with the family. Although Cecilia wishes Indy spent more time at home, they have a strong and loving relationship. Cecilia and Cece have a strained relationship as mother-daughter. Cecilia is unable to understand why Cece requires so much privacy and is not interested in family activities and gatherings because she used to be so involved. Cece is a 16-year-old full-time high school student. She is focused on spending time with her friends and participating in soccer, volleyball, and track at her high school. She is considered a daddy's girl and turns to her father when she gets into disagreements with her mother. Cece used to have a strong relationship with her mother, but now sees the relationship as overbearing and thinks her mother is unwilling to allow independence. Cece has a very mentoring and supportive relationship with her younger brother, Alex, and she enjoys spending time with him when she is not with friends or at practice. She's extremely excited about her new driver's license as she recently saved up for a small used car. She drives herself and brother to school, practice, and peer events. Alex is a 12-year-old full-time middle school student. He has a strong and loving relationship with his family and gets along with everyone he meets. Alex wishes his father was home more, but is very interested in his father's occupation as an archaeologist and loves to get the souvenirs after every trip. Alex is considered a mama's boy. He has a strong relationship with his mother, and Cece is very doting, protective, and proud of Alex. For family structure and culture, Cecilia's parents are the only grandparents that are still alive and well. Burton and Betty Goodson live within about 40 minutes of the Jones family. They have a very supporting and loving relationship with the entire family. The Jones live in a small community in Temecula, California. Temecula is in Southern California and is very ethnically diverse. Since both parents are working steady jobs, the family lives comfortably in the upper to middle class neighborhood with many similar families nearby. The high school and middle schools are located within 10 minutes of the house, and the Jones family goes to a local Protestant church every Sunday.
The Jones Eco Map can be seen here with the 4 family members in the middle. As you can see, they all have a strong relationship with one another, aside from Cece having a tense relationship with Cecilia just because she thinks she's overbearing and is taking away her independence. Cece also has a tense relationship with church just because she sees it as another way for Cecilia to take away her independence and forcing her to be involved in things she doesn't want to be involved in. She does have a good relationship with her extended family. She's very close with her grandparents. She was in good health prior to the motor vehicle accident, and she was really involved in school and has a lot of friends. She's also involved in sports, and she excels in sports, but all 3 that she's involved in. And this is part of the reason why Alex has a stressful relationship with sports, just because he feels that he needs to excel in the same ways that Cece has. Alex has a good relationship with friends and church. He is highly involved in both and has a really good social environment because of these 2 things. He also is in good health. Cecilia has a stressful relationship with work just because she enjoys what she does, but she's working long hours and then coming home and grading papers, and working with kids can be really stressful. She also has a stressful relationship with finances because she is the one that's primarily in charge of the finances and paying bills while Indy is away. But she has a good relationship with her parents, and she's really involved in church, which brings a lot of social activities, as well as she's got a lot of friends that are really supportive, and she is in good health as well. Indy loves his work. He has a great relationship with his work, but he does have a stressful relationship with his extended family just because Cecilia's parents believe that he should be around more and not on as many business trips to help out with the family. He's in good health, and he has a good relationship with the finances as he's able to bring in a lot of money for the family.
The Jones family has recently suffered a traumatic event by means of motor vehicle accident. As Cece has gotten her new driver's license and the excitement that that's brought, it's also caused a lot more tension between Cece and Cecilia, her mother. On this particular day, Cece and Cecilia got into an argument over Cece driving her friends around in the car. Her new license prohibits her driving friends around, and Cecilia has been constantly on her about this. Because of the argument, Cece took off angrily, driving away from the house. She tried to call her father on the phone, who was out of town on business, but he did not answer the phone. Angrily, Cece was driving her car and drove through a crossroads intersection. She ran the stop sign and was T-boned on the driver's side by an oncoming car. Because of this, Cece suffered a spinal cord injury and faces an unknown long-term prognosis. So the family functions and transitions because of this event go as follows. Indy, who was the main income provider of the family and still is had to cut back on business trips and is now at home supporting the family more. Cece, who was also a school teacher before and had a secondary income, is on an extended leave of absence from work now to provide the sole primary care for Cece. Cece was a new driver and full-time high school student at the time. After the accident, though, she's indefinitely out of school and out of her friends and peers network. She's no longer involved in sports and no longer involved in her social networks. Alex, who was the younger brother role, has had to transition to take on a much more supportive role of Cece and starts to perform much more of the household chores. Because of this also, he has had to have decreased time in extracurricular activities. The family as a whole has been feeling the financial concerns of healthcare costs and reduced incomes. The grandparents, luckily, have had an increased role in means of transportation, meal preparation, and support for the family.
And just to elaborate on some of the stressors Shane mentioned, Cece is dealing with the physical pain following her car accident, and she's also struggling between the transition from her active independent life to one where she has to be more dependent on her family and nurses. And she's also wondering when she'll be able to drive again or play sports again, if ever. Her little brother Alex is feeling helpless. He feels like he can't really help his sister, who he was previously really close to. He feels like he's not getting as much attention from his parents, and he also feels like he can't ask for much since Cece's the one who's hurt. Cece's parents, Indy and Cecilia, are both dealing with seeing their daughter in pain and feeling like they didn't protect her as they should have. They're both missing a lot of work, and they're worried about their finances. And they're both struggling between being there for their daughter, comforting their son, and then helping each other cope. The family as a whole, their routine's been disrupted. The things that were once priorities, like making money, getting kids to school on time, and getting them to extracurriculars, are now taking a back seat to Cece's injury. One theory we can use to look at the Jones family is the family systems theory. This theory allows the nurse to do four things. They're able to assess the influence of the car accident on the family. They're able to assess each family member individually and how the accident impacted them. They can assess the family dynamic as a whole, and they can assess the different subsystems like Cece's relationship with her mom, Cecilia, or Indy and Cecilia's relationship with one another.
Another theory that we can apply to the Jones family is the origins of crisis theory, which was developed by Eric Lindman in 1944. It states that crisis is a three-phase experience. The first phase is a period of disequilibrium. The second is a process of working through the problems. And the third is an eventual restoration of equilibrium. So once that restoration of equilibrium is achieved, there's a gradual decrease of anxiety and an increase in satisfying experience. So this is where the nurse can really come in to aid in the restoration of this equilibrium.
Okay, and for our interventions, we're going to provide the patient and the family with support groups and making sure to stress the importance of sharing their experience with each other, as well as others who are going through the same experience. So this allows Cece and the family to share their experience with others in a group, and by telling their story in as much detail as possible, it helps them find meaning in the tragic event. It helps reframe their perspectives and makes it more manageable in the recovery process. So for the outcome, CC and the family will find a support group within the month that they connect with, and they'll attend at least one of the meetings together as a family and tell their story and share their experience with each other and others in the same situation dealing with a spinal cord injury. For our second intervention, we want to have a psychologist or counselor work with the family and CC, focusing on instilling realistic hope for CC and the family. Rationale for this is her life has been threatened now by a traumatic event with the car accident and the spinal cord injury. So there's a lot of disruptions in her life and the family's life. And hope is going to be one of the biggest forces that helps them go on every day and gives them a sense of direction. So for our outcome, we're going to have CC and the family meet once a week with a counselor, and they're going to establish realistic goals based around CC's new lifestyle. And in each of the sessions, the counselor, family, and CC will work together to determine which strategies work best and which ones don't work for CC to give her hope and motivation with her spinal cord injury. For our third intervention, we want the family and CC to maintain open communication and work in cooperation with the healthcare providers. And this is to help design a program that's created both by the healthcare professionals and CC and the family. And this rationale for this is that that'll increase empowerment and overall quality of life for CC and the caregivers, the family. For our outcome, we're going to have CC and the family upon discharge. We want them to feel equipped in maintaining open communication through this traumatic event and the lifestyle that's ahead of them, and also sharing questions and any concerns they have with their provider, and so they can develop a treatment plan that works best for them.
We found 3 implications for nursing practice. The first would be the need for nurse in services focused on family-focused education for families following a trauma like a car accident, where they would address family dynamics that have been altered following that kind of trauma. The second would be the need for nurses to take the extra time to be there and listen to their patients, and maybe do less, but be there more and act as an expert companion and encouraging that storytelling process between family members. And the third would be the need to educate parents on the importance of tending to their child's mental health and emotional health in conjunction with assisting with their physical needs. And here are our references.